So good morning. I'm not sure if you can see me. I am out on a sunrise, which is very unusual for me. I thought go somewhere local before the clocks fall back later this week. So it's only about 7 o'clock. I only have to get up at 6:30. So I've come to a place called Roach Bridge, which has been on my local list for a long time now. But as I said to someone during the week, it's kind of one of them places where you know it's always going to be there, and yeah, it kind of sticks to the list but never drops off the list. So I've come this morning with the intention of getting a shot. There's a weir. I'm stood on the bridge here itself, and there's a weir over there in the background, and there's the old paper mill, which I think is still in action actually. I think they still make tissues. So I've got my composition set up already, and I'm just waiting for a decent sunrise, because yesterday there was a decent sunrise. As you can see, there's quite a bit of traffic about. It's not the best place to be stood, really, having a chat with you guys, trying to take a picture, because I was almost hit by a tanker a minute ago. But you just got to be a bit sensible. The light is starting to come up, and I'm out of the way enough, so everything should be fine. As I was saying, there was a beautiful sunrise yesterday, and I looked at the weather forecast. I kind of watched that sunrise from the window at home, and I was like, why am I not out? And then I looked at the weather forecast, and I thought there was only one day this week, and that was today, where it looks half decent. The rest of the day seems a bit washed out. The rest of the week seems a bit washed out, sorry. So hopefully, I'll show you my composition on the back of the camera, because it's probably the only thing that you can actually see. As you can see there, hopefully up here, this will just come to life. We're about 20 minutes away from sunrise, so we'll see what happens. If nothing happens, then I've got out, I've seen the moon's up there, I've had a little nice drive, I'm up and raring to go this morning. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. As I say, it's one of them places that I haven't yet shot at, so I'm a bit just sort of seeing what happens. I've gone for a classic composition really. The weir on one side and the paper mill on the other side. Shot from the bridge, not getting any of the bridge involved in the scene at all. But hopefully it won't really matter what the composition is. The composition won't matter that much, because hopefully the sky will pop and the clouds will come to life, and there'll be a beautiful glow in the sky. Okay, so we're probably a few minutes away from sunrise now, and after doing a live Instagram video, which I'll put on my stories as well, I found myself doing more and more live Instagram videos just because they're quite fun really. So I'll stick my Instagram details in the link below. As I was saying, I'm still holding hope. The day's sort of coming around, but there's not a whole lot of cloud in the scene that I want really. I want the sunrise to take to that. Just like yesterday, it's beautiful. There was more cloud, and it was the orange of the sunrise just sort of took to it, and it was beautiful. So we'll see what happens. If not, then I'll just have to come back. It's quite local, so it's not too bad. The only thing I'm worried about is that it's quite, as I said in the first part of the video, this is a classic composition, it's the obvious composition. So I'd like to try and step out the box and do something a bit different, but really there isn't that much you can do. You're sort of stuck to this bridge, you can't get down to it really unless you want to go for a swim. And from here you can get the old mill in, which is kind of, it's part of the storytelling of the weir. It was here for a purpose, so I quite like the story. I quite like the juxtaposition between the flow of the water and the man-made weir, and also the sort of what it was used for, the industrial side of things. So we'll see. The sun's coming out, the day is beginning, and who knows what it'll do. I'm going to check my phone and see what time sunrise is meant to come up, or it's meant to officially be, and then we'll stick around for a few minutes after and see what happens. Well, some good news, it appears that I got my times wrong. The sunrise isn't at 7:30, it's at about 10 to 8. So, I'm hopeful that the colour that was lacking when I thought sunrise was about to happen will happen in about 15 minutes. I'm just enjoying that sort of morning peace and quiet. The only thing I'm missing is a cup of tea or a coffee, but you can't have everything in this life, so yeah, it's nice to just be here and just be out, fresh air and all that. So it's good for the soul, it's good, a bit of photography therapy. Yeah, I was a bit, this composition, I was slightly worried because if you can see up there's some electrical cabling. And it is in the top left of the shot. I could clone it out, but I kind of quite like it. It kind of adds something extra to that top left, which is otherwise lacking. So I'm not sure. I might keep it and I might take it out depending on what happens, if anything does happen here. But I'm just sort of tinkering with my settings as the light gets better and better and more vibrant. One thing I'm enjoying, I'm hopeful that, as well as, even though the sun will be rising over that way, I'm hopeful that that will all go orange and pinks and all that kind of thing. But I'm also hoping for a bit of, if you look at the windows, there's so many windows, and in the shot on the back of the camera you can see there's like beautiful blues in the windows, the reflections from over that way. Hopefully a bit of that morning sun will throw itself that way and there'll be a bit of colour in the windows as well. But if there isn't, I'm not sure how that would work. It probably wouldn't happen. If there isn't, hopefully there'd be a bit of a juxtaposition. Is that twice I've said juxtaposition? 3 times now. Between morning orange in the sky and this blue of the windows as well. I'm going to grab a couple of shots as the light develops and we'll see what happens in about 10 minutes. So the sun is officially up, sunrise is... So the sun is officially up, it was sunrise about a minute ago. And there's no epic light to talk about really, as you can see in the background. There's banks of cloud beyond what I can really see on what's showing up in the frame itself on the back of the camera. It's still a nice shot though. So what I've done is I've popped a filter on the back and I'm trying to do a long exposure just to create a bit of moodiness. Make that water all silky, capture any movement in the sky, and sort of just put a little bit of moodiness onto the mill itself. I sort of lost myself just looking at the building. It's got so much history in it, even though it's still active. I wonder what it would have been like many years ago and stuff like that. I wonder if it's been restored and how much it's been restored and how much it's true to the original building that was here. And as well as that, I keep sort of losing myself in the water. Just the noise, that sort of ambient noise, it's just, when you've not been very well, I've had a really bad cold. It just sort of relaxes you a little bit and it just makes everything feel a little bit better. So as I say, I'm just running some long exposures just over the next few minutes. The sun is officially up, but I can't see any epic conditions But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it just means I'll have to come back. As I say, it's quite local to me, so I can pop back here if the conditions work. It would be really nice to get a bit of, it's like one of them, quite a picturesque picture postcard, Christmas card type scene. If it had a little bit of snow in it, or a bit of ice on the weir, a bit of snowfall on the mill, I think it would be a really nice shot which could go on the front of a Christmas card. So that's a possibility over winter, but I was just hoping for a little bit of autumnal colour and a little bit of an explosion in the sky. But we haven't had it yet. So I'll pop a picture up. Thanks for joining me on this breezy, chilly morning. Hopefully I'll get this vlog up on the same day, and I'll pop a picture up at the end. I think it's good to return to the same places over and over again, because you might not get the conditions that you want one time, but that shouldn't be a deterrent. It should motivate you to come back and get the shots that you do want and that you are passionate about. And I'm hopeful that from here in the future I should be able to get a really nice image. So let's stop this long exposure and we will sign off. And thank you ever so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Stick around for the pictures at the end. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.